Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dads, listening to Tomcats, talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Winter is Blooming, a Game of Thrones rewatch podcast by us, the Penny Bloom Podcast. Today, we've got Season 6, Episode 5, titled The Door. It was written by D&D, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, directed by Jack Bender. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? It is always a pleasure to be here, but today...
Oh, it is always a pleasure to have you.
I guess, a little bit different of a... we've lost some people in the show before, but we knew one was coming back.
Ooh.
And I don't know. This one is just a little... I don't know what it is. It's kind of...
There's a fucking tragedy to this that is just like, ooh. This one's rough. I was sobbing last night watching this.
Okay. I didn't expect to. I was coming into it not actually expecting to whatsoever.
I wasn't either. I was like, well, I know Hodor dies. This rewatch, if anything, has reminded me just how little of a part Hodor has been. Like, he's always been there whenever Bran's around, but I mean, he says Hodor, you know, like that's all he does. He's always around. He's always down to ride. It was real fucking sad. But man, this was a good episode even beyond that.
Very much so. Yeah, every location was very, very, I don't know. It kept me the whole time. It always happens with Thrones episodes. You know, we watch like a penultimate episode and we're ready for one thing.
The event.
Yeah, but then you realize you're like, oh wait, the other 30 minutes of the show, or even sometimes 40. You know, usually the last thing, I'd say I guess north of the wall was probably like only 10 minutes, maybe. Yeah. Maybe,
yeah.
But no, this was a goodie everywhere we checked in. It was very, very cool. I was like, we talked last episode about like how Hodor should probably just get the honorary character nod here, just cause. I mean, he did make the sacrifice play, so it automatically puts him up there. But like, even while watching, I was like, man, they're like, actually are some contenders that like you could hear out for the episode.
No, for sure, it's a goodie. It's a real good one, but. If you want, we can go ahead and get it started at the wall, wherein Sansa Stark receives a message bearing the sigil of House Baelish. And she's like, where's... no big deal. No particular reason I'm asking. Where's Molestown? And then we are immediately in Molestown thereafter, where she is accompanied by Brienne and furiously confronts Peter Baelish. You know, did you know what Ramsay Bolton was? And he's like, hey, I didn't, and she's like, well, you either knew and you're my enemy, or you didn't know and you're a fucking idiot. So,
yeah. Dude, Sophie Turner, she turned on the jets. Character-wise and performance-wise, I feel like this episode, I gave her the performance nod myself. That. And yeah, her scenes rocked. Especially with, this early on, just her and Littlefinger was great, but even the rest of the wall stuff I thought was.
Oh yeah, she was the one that gave me trouble character wise. I was like, if there's a contender who's taking down Hodor, I did end up going Hodor for it's the last time we ever get the chance. It's the only time you ever get the chance, really.
He can't get one. He hasn't gotten one.
Yeah. If there was gonna be anyone else for me, it was gonna be Sansa, and it was this interaction. She is. And further interactions, like she is taking what she's learned and really applying it and doing it well.
And I don't know if it if this was, she escaped Winterfell, she realizes that, like, even when someone seems they really want to help her, like Littlefinger, it still ends up pretty shitty. So I think this was, like, her fully realizing that, like, she is a Stark herself, and people will follow her. She doesn't really need anyone else to do all of these things. I don't know, even, I guess, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about not disclosing that she met with Littlefinger at all. It is the one catch up that I have, and maybe to Jon alone, she would be comfortable enough.
Yeah,
but they've never had a good relationship, anyways. Like they.
No, there's definitely a little bit of her that I think at this point, she's already thinking that maybe she wants to be Queen of the North.
And Jon's more of a threat.
And Jon is like, she recognizes that Jon's not going to do anything to actively hurt her and take her down or anything. But I think she knows that if she can play cards close to the vest, if she can be held responsible for victory, if she can be the one who people look at and go, she's the reason we're here, she has a better chance of being elevated to that spot without asking for it,
Maybe a little, I know I'm jumping ahead here a little bit, but maybe a little thematic lineup could be the Kingsmoot we had at the Iron Islands. Having someone who's, like, clearly just, like, right for the throne, has to lead. It's never been done before, but it's just purely obvious. And then you have I'm not comparing Jon Snow to Euron, but sort of the same family dynamic-ish is going on there. We have, like, an actual heir, child of the king.
Yeah.
Jon isn't. But, I don't know, and then just someone coming in and just taking it right under him. And maybe Sansa's a little worried about that, like, just knowing that if Jon just exists, people will follow him. It's like, not bad for her. But
and I don't think, that's the thing, is that I don't think she's worried about that, and I don't think it's actively like she wants to prevent that, I think she's doing anything she can to hedge her bets and not necessarily tear them down. What she does here doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't, like, it's something that she can
that's true.
utilize to her advantage at a later date and actively help, because, I mean, she's the reason that the Battle of the Bastards is won, if you recall.
Because I was going to ask, because I didn't remember what happens with the Blackfish and everything. I remember this meeting, but I sort of remember, like, a drawbridge or something, and, like, them just not even letting them inside or something like that.
Yeah, the Blackfish refuses. That's something. He does not come to ride.
Does Littlefinger, was this an actual just good advice tip from Littlefinger, or did Littlefinger know Blackfish would turn this down and send them on a useless mission so that they wouldn't get the actual, I don't know.
I think this is a good faith no-brainer. I think Sansa, even if Baelish hadn't said it, Sansa would have done this. Like, it feels like that should be the person, and that should be the army that we have at our side. It was my mother's house. It only makes sense that they come to ride for us. Of course they will. And I believe we'll get there within the next episode or two, but I believe Blackfish's reasoning is that Brienne is the one who approaches him. And he's like, I don't fucking know you. My sister isn't in the north anymore. This is my home. And the other part of that is that they're holding it against the Lannisters at that time. The Lannisters are setting up siege on River Run, so they don't want to give up River Run to go help the North. They want to hold their home. So, like, it's just a bad timing thing all around. Like, I think the Lannisters.
That's Sansa's whole story is bad timing. I mean, like, everything. It's like, oh, finally, I'll meet my brother at the wall. He's dead right now. You don't know that. I mean, we'll get there and he'll be alive again, but it's like, it's always the worst timing with Sansa, it seems like. But okay. I didn't remember exactly what happened with the Blackfish there, but that helps.
Yeah, no, there's this weird shit that they do in the last couple seasons here that I'm not a huge fan of, and I blame D&D wholeheartedly for, where they seem like they try to pit the siblings against each other of the Stark family. I don't know if you remember the storyline in season 7 where it seems like Arya and Sansa are at each other's throats the entire fucking time.
Really? Yeah, I don't remember that.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. It's a actively bad storyline, and we will get there. But like Littlefinger, whenever she's like, I already have an army, I don't need that. It's Jon Snow's army, the wildlings, and Baelish goes, half brother, and walks away. It's like, what the fuck do you mean by that?
I think just to Sansa, it doesn't really mean much, but it is something in the back burner that, like, if ever it comes to it, you have a more legitimate claim than Jon. Maybe it's just a reminder that, like, yes, you grew up with him, he seems like your brother, but, you know, with all the...
Yeah, she's probably, like, because Brienne also brings it up later about how she doesn't know if she can trust everybody around her, and I think Baelish is probably just trying to sow more discord and trying to be like, because his ultimate goal still is to be the fucking guy, you know, like he still wants to be. There was a time when he was trying to make a ploy for Warden of the North, so maybe there's still something there that he wants to get after, you know, like there's all sorts of shit, but all the while at Castle Black, a war council has been called and is attended by Sansa, Brienne, Podrick, Jon, Davos, Melisandre, Tormund, and Dolorous Ed. Quite the ragtag group of rebels here, but they discuss the need for... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it works.
I love it. I love the squad.
I love all the looks that Tormund just gives Brienne the whole time. Like, he's just, like, smiling, like, oh my god.
Bro wants her bad.
Unbelievably. He's always the cool guy, too. You know, like, I fought a bear. And all
yeah,
blah, blah,
no, he is
blah,
simping.
and,
this is the most he has ever simped ever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's unabashedly, unashamed. I'm going to simp over this woman. But, you know, they discuss the need for more men to defend Castle Black since the Karstarks and Umbers, 2 major houses in the north, have already declared for Ramsay. And Jon points out that they can summon the rest of the minor houses, such as the Mormonts, Glaners, Kerwins, and Masons, to rival their enemies. All of them added up together ends up amounting to roughly the same. And Sansa states that the North remembers. The people of the North are still loyal to the Starks and will risk everything for the name Stark. And I loved Davos being like, they might, but
not for
the Karstarks are literally literally blood at in a distant manner, but they are literally blood, and they've declared for that. Like, you can't count on anybody, you know, shit's changed. And, you know, she reveals that Brendan's, her uncle, the Blackfish's successful retaking of River Run. And though she claims she learned via one of Ramsay's ravens in order to stop Jon from pursuing Littlefinger. That's another aspect of it I hadn't considered, is that Littlefinger is...
Jon go after him. 100%.
Yeah, Littlefinger's responsible in some part for their dad's death.
Yeah. Jon would... I mean, Jon's really not the same. He's kind of a little bit different. Like, coming back, like, and they mention it, like, I think, I forgot who says it, but, like, yeah, he's been a little broody lately, but it's like, you know,
Brienne.
Understandably, though. She's like, I mean...
A bit brutish.
Yeah, brutish, that's what it was. But she's like, I mean, understandable, though.
But given the circumstance, you know, like, she says something like that, and it's like, yeah.
I feel like Jon's just done. He's done with bullshit. He's just like, I
do what I have to, and that's it. But yeah, Sansa subsequently tasks Brienne and Podrick with securing Blackfish's help with the rest of them, while the rest of them leave Castle Black to start building their army. And before leaving Castle Black, Sansa presents Jon with a new cloak like their father's, carrying the Stark sigil. I like the wolf bit there, when he's talking about her dress.
Yeah.
Dude, this part made me tear up. Cause like, even on site, before she said, I tried to make it look like Dad's, I was like, that looks just like Ned's. It fucked me up so bad.
And putting them on, they're riding out, you know, with the horses, and like, it's, I love that look of like the big ass cape covering the horse too, and them. It looks so sick.
It does.
Like cars just aren't the same. A horse that's fucking hard. Like I don't know. That's just that you have a car that actually has a mind of its own. Like we're just beginning to have like cars with AI and shit like that, but horses, they legit have a brain. You don't need to actually steer, really. They just do it. I've always really wondered how you actually steer a horse. Like how much control do you truly have over a horse?
It's a certain degree. Like I think there's sort of like a relationship you form with the horse if you're going to ride it and stuff. It's
that's probably more true. Yeah, it's Danny's always has her horse, or it's just a white one. I don't know if it is the same horse, but I guess that makes sense.
No, her horse was the one that was sacrificed in the.
Oh, and okay. Does she eat that horse's heart?
No, that's the one she sacrificed to save Drogo's life.
Oh, okay. Yeah, blood.
The one that gets its throat slashed in the tent.
Oh, and the horrible noise. Yeah. Okay. Now I remember. Okay.
That was a rough one. No, wait, that wasn't the one. That horse just dies, I think, at the beginning of season 2, like when they're traveling through the sands of the desert and just drops dead.
Yeah.
And it's like the last thing she has to remember Drogo by, so it's like a big so sorry to misspeak like that, but we've watched a lot of this show over a long course of time. That was like almost a year ago now, so
that's crazy. That is crazy. Sorry for the weird
10 months ago. Yeah, 11 months ago. But regardless, I loved the they ride out, and as the gates close, a gentleman walks up to Dolorous Edd and goes, "Do you want us to shut the gates, Lord Commander?"
I'm not the Lord Yeah. He clears his throat even too. He's like, let me deepen my voice too. Close the bloody gate. Yeah, I had that for the line. I don't know. I've never been able to give Dolorous Edd a line really, but this one it felt kind of nice. I was already like tearing up from the.
I think that's his second line for you.
No way. I have given him one.
Oh fuck.
That's right. I mean, it was too good. Just seeing the army of the dead fall over a mountain coming at him, and he's just
But no, this is a loaded little moment where it's not just like, you know what? Yeah, I will take this. It's almost like, fuck, it looks like I have to. Like he looks around. This is like everybody. There's like 15 other dudes there, and he's like,
not good.
I'm gonna assume you all already think of me as the Lord Commander, so fuck it, that's fine. So here we have the official dubbing of the 999th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Dolorous Edd, there he is. Yeah,
what deserved too,
I don't think
especially
else
given
there.
the candidates that we have left.
Is there anyone that even has a character name that stays at Castle Black right now?
I think Ed's it. I think we're done. I think everyone else is a nameless Night's Watchman.
Wow. Yeah, and do we ever like check back in on him until like?
There's a really great foreshadowing line that John says where he goes, "Don't knock the wall down while I'm gone."
Shit. Okay. Yep. Okay. He's there during that. Fuck.
Yeah, him and Tormund are there actually.
Tormund makes it. They're literally on top of the wall when it comes down, and it somehow pops back. Like they just
that was the season 7 cliffhanger. We were like, are Tormund and Ed just dead? And then nope, they are not. Very funny stuff.
Wow.
Game of Thrones quality in season 7 and 8. There is an actual drop off, and the closer we get, the more I fear it deeply.
Man, yeah, that is kind of. There are just a lot of weird decisions that are made, or
convenient. Plot holes that, it's never really been something you have in Game of Thrones where it's like, oh well, this will just be a nice little thing we can do. That's just there we go. It's fine, whatever. Nobody will think anything of it. It's convenient. No, that's something that the show becomes because of a time crunch. But regardless, we'll then head to Braavos, where the waif continues to drill Arya, mocking her highborn origins. And Jaqen H'ghar explains that the Faceless Men were slaves in Valyria before establishing the free city of Braavos and the House of Black and White. incredibly important piece of lore that I completely forgot about.
I had no idea about. I'm like, he's giving like Jorah's like history teacher, like just giving us everything, and I'm like, what? I would have loved to know. This is like the exact shit that I need to know, about
of course, it's just like Valyria. Yep, they're from Valyria. It's like everything that's fucking mystical and cool came from Valyria. So like, it's such a great way to just be like, we don't even really need to explain what happened here.
Yeah,
they came from Valyria.
Mm-hmm. It's like Atlantis, basically.
Yeah, and then they founded Bravos. They did that. The Faceless Men.
Yeah, and I don't know if I really noticed it before, but I noticed it on this episode. How deep the Hall of Faces is, like how long and far it goes. It's like a supermarket. Like it is just.
Well, then it's also like how long and how long do these faces last? How long have they been collecting them? How long have they kept them? Are there hundreds of years old faces in there?
I mean, because he was telling Arya, she was like, yeah, these are the first faces. At least maybe that column, I don't know. Maybe it's like, I don't know how that works. But like, they were just no one, Like they literally weren't highborn. And even he brings that up. He's like, yeah, you're like this. It's never been done before. Someone who's been highborn coming into the Hall of Faces or like joining the Faceless Men. It's never been done before. I don't know. Kind of a lot of that, it seems. Sansa becoming the Warden of the North, Wardeness of the North. We got Yara that probably should have got the throne. Never happened before. Arya never happened before. Dany even. Khaleesi leading the Dothraki for the first time. I love all this new blood, new era.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's really, really satisfying. But he hands Arya a vial, and Jaqen tells her an actress named Lady Crane will be the next to receive the many-faced god's gift. And thus, we are then at the wretched reenactment, as I have dubbed it. It is my favorite scene of the episode.
Okay, I was wondering if it was the reenactment, like this literal act, or like the reenactment of Hodor, but it's not really a reenactment. It's like the actual, so right. I didn't. Okay,
no, I went with this. I think, because there's just a lot of love going to that at the end of the episode for me. So I was like, I wanted to give it something else, and I forgot this was the same episode as Hold the Door, and I've always loved this. I've always loved this little bit of a storyline where she realizes that maybe the Faceless Men aren't all that, because why are they killing just this perfectly nice woman? And in Jaqen he explains what they're about and stuff. But regardless, the whole reenactment of the War of the Five Kings, where you have Richard E. Grant, by the way, fantastic actor. You would know him as classic Loki. In Loki season 1, episode 5, Glorious Purpose. Yes, he was also in The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh my god! Okay.
Yeah, very, very well established actor. He's done so much more than that. I just know that the people who listen to this podcast, we do Marvel and Star Wars stuff a lot. That is what you'll probably know him from.
I forget what Thor movie it's in, but you know how they do like a Matt Damon and someone else reenactment of like Asgard? Is that before or after this? Was that Thor Love and Thunder, or was that
that was Ragnarok, which would have been a year after this?
I feel like there's some deep inspiration. Like this feels very similar to that scene, honestly. Like now that I think about it. But no, this one, like, I'm glad you picked the scene, because it's like, if you don't watch the show and you watch this, it's like not that funny, or like you're not in the know of like any of this. You have to like know the history, watch the show to like really get the full.
And that's what's crazy is that like this is the perception of what occurred. This is what the War of the Five Kings was. This is who Stark was. According to the legacy they have left behind because of these events and history being written by the Lannisters, this is what happened.
In a crazy thought that hit me is like, this is their media. You know, like this is where they get all the information. They know it's a play and they know things are dramatized, but like they'll go home and be like, I can't believe, you know,
Ned Stark was such a dumbass.
Yeah, or something, you know. Yeah, it's like that's just what their perception.
What's that mean?
Yeah. Oh man, it was, and then seeing Arya, like,
yeah,
she was enjoying.
No, it's devastating, man.
She was enjoying the show, and then Ned came out, and she was like, "Oh yeah, forgot."
This is what people think my dad was. You know, it's and to know him and to know he was not. I mean, like, back in season 1, there were choices Ned made where you could unquestionably go, they're dumb, but it's because he was naive and had too much faith in people doing the right thing. It wasn't because he was just an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he didn't make a ploy for the throne. He abided by Robert's wishes. He did everything exactly how he was supposed to do it.
That's why when we were watching, or when I was watching this, I'm like, wait a minute, did Ned make a play for the throne? I'm like, at any point, like, am I remembering this wrong? And I'm like, no way.
No, yeah, Robert tells him that he needs to be the rightful ruler of the 7 kingdoms until his son comes of age. And he did the whole thing where he didn't write Joffrey, he wrote, you know, his rightful heir comes of age, and Cersei tears up the piece of paper when Ned declares himself. And stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, no, it's so he does make a play for the throne, quote unquote, but it's because Robert told him to.
Robert's dying wish. So yeah, that is fair enough. It wasn't a play like the Lannisters would make, where they're actually doing, like, plotting and doing you know, doing things in the background. But no, yeah, this, I don't know. I added Lady, what's her name? Lady
Crane.
Lady Crane. Added her to the good old little kill list we got going on. She is on the list as of right now. Not, I guess, Arya's, but just the grander,
the larger list of kills to come.
Yeah. And
do you remember how she dies?
No, not at all. I was really trying to remember this.
The way that the Bravo storyline culminates, we are like much closer to the end of this storyline than I remember. Like within the next probably 2 episodes. Maybe 3.
Holy shit. Yeah, this is one of my favorite just storylines in the entire show, is Arya's time in Bravos. But like, that's the thing, is that I loved it because of how mysterious and crime-y it was. But like, as far as remembering how it ends,
I'm like, maybe it is all the way to the season finale, but there is not much more we do there. Like, this is the inciting event for the conclusion of the Bravo storyline. This is why everything ends the way it does. And so this is a really fun turning point for the Bravo storyline. So I went ahead and picked it because I also just love the scene and this sort of thing they're doing. It's a lot of fun, but Ned's portrayed as a buffoon. The actress who plays Sansa, Bianca, has her breasts bared to the audience, and afterwards Arya sneaks into the dressing room after the play to observe her target, the actress playing Cersei, who appears to be a clever, decent woman. Her and the gentleman playing Tyrion are, you know, they're having their little back and forth, which is very funny.
God, yeah. Like, I mean, nudity doesn't, like, I'm not a prude or whatever, and like, I hate nudity if it's in a show. This was just kind of like, why? What the fuck? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, for the play, whatever. It's
but
just
backstage. Bianca's just got her tits out,
full frontal dick too. Dude's like, I got 2 warts on my dick. I'm like, I mean, for a joke, like, I mean, it is literally center frame. It's the only thing you see is this dude's dick, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. I mean, we're doing it, and then, I don't know. I thought that's just incredible. No shows really. I don't know. I don't know of many shows where I've gotten just a full frontal, not just zoomed in too. But no, the backstage was really funny, and like the Tyrion guy, I don't know, Lady Crane and her just being like, you got to know my drink of choice if we're gonna get intimate, you know, or whatever. And it's like, well,
like, we to our children, you know, may they have your talent and your wit or whatever. It's very cute. But Arya later shares with Jaqen her plan to poison Lady Crane's rum. No one else in the troop drinks it, and it seems like a good plan. And Arya is like, she seems like a decent woman, she seems like a nice lady. And he's like, does death take the unjust more so than the just? Like it takes us all eventually.
Fair enough, Jaqen. I do think you're missing the point of you're taking their life now.
Yeah, and there's also the fact I'm so curious what it takes for a name or a face to be like okay to be taken. Like
says the price
has that Bianca has commissioned the kill. Why does Bianca have the right to ask this woman dead, but Arya does not have the right to ask her saved? You know what I'm saying?
I wonder, because like they're all about like a life for a life, or like it's like if it's your time and your name is listed, you just gotta go. Yeah, I don't feel like it's a money thing. I don't know. I don't.
No, it's definitely not a money thing. I wonder if it's like Jaqen communes with the higher power or something, the many-faced god, and is like, is this the right? Is it sort of like a, you feel the force and it directs you in the right place? Yeah. It feels right. It like, I don't know. But they obviously never go into that because it'd be way too fucking complicated. But I'm just so curious why Bianca has the ability, or why anybody has the ability to go, I wish this person dead, will you kill them?
Maybe if you ask the faceless men, I mean, because they're gaining a face,
Right.
Like, they will gain Lady, like, that's what Jaqen even says, like, no matter what, we're going to gain a face. It's either yours or Lady Crane's. If you don't kill her, we're killing you and we're taking your face. So it's like, maybe that's just their currency. Like, they're like, oh, you want this person dead? Cool. I can take their face now.
Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe that's all it is, or maybe they're...
I feel like that would make Braavos a horrifying place to live.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it would be like they come in and they're like, hey, I need this person gone. Maybe Jaqen leaves and is like, hey, Many-Faced God, what do you think about this? Because that's right, all they need is a name. So maybe it's just like they go back to the House of Black and White. They're like, hey, this person. And then the god is like, yes or no. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably...
I don't know. But regardless, I'm cool with it. I love the way the storyline ends up going and how it resonates with Arya in a certain way here. But that concludes the story in Braavos, and we'll head to Vaes Dothrak, wherein Daenerys is unsure of what to do with Jorah. I've banished you twice, you've returned twice, and you've saved my life twice. What should I do with you? And Jorah's like, you must send me away. And he reveals his grayscale to her.
Oh, man.
And I went Emilia Clarke.
This is good.
I went Emilia Clarke, no doubt. And the reason, he's like, she starts to tear up, how long does it take? He doesn't know. What happens? He doesn't know. He knows what it eventually gets to, and he plans on ending it before that. And he says, Tyrion was right. I will always love you.
Damn. Yeah, and then the fast cut to Daario I thought was just hilarious. It was like
Daario just kind of like looking down like, well, it's also this moment where Daario, I think there's like a realized respect for Jorah in this moment, where he also realizes that there's a different love that Daenerys has for Jorah too. Yeah. And it's something that he won't ever have. It's very specific. It's not like it's not a jealousy, obviously. He has what he wants with Daenerys. He does, like, there's something much.
They both want what each other has, Like Daario wants to be like respected and like looked up to for advice, or like I don't like that. I feel like that's what the love.
He wants to be loved.
Yeah.
Daenerys doesn't love him,
they're just that is just pure
we fuck.
Yeah, right there. I mean,
yeah, like
either of them is the thing. I mean, that's like, I mean, they're both just very, very good looking people. They're both on top of the world. They're a great couple, for the show. But yeah, Jorah. This was
man. Just I went Amelia Clarke here because it made me realize this scene how fucking little we watch her get vulnerable. She is always queenly, and if she's not queenly, she's angry, and that is typically what we see from her. It hasn't been since Khal Drogo died that I think we've watched this. Like,
yeah, I mean, only
because even when Barristan Selmy died, she maintained the queenly air about her, and because it was in the throne room, they had him there. She was angry. It was the Sons of the Harpy who did this. It's there,
I only remember one cry, and it's very short. It's just when she locks up Viserion and.
Oh, that's true. Viserion and Rhaegal. That was definitely one.
But it's very short, just like a cut. She looks back, cries, and then it's gone. It's not like sit with it and you actually hear her go through her emotions and be like, no,
man. Like this was, I was like, Amelia Clarke is so fucking good. And I absolutely loved it. But he begins to walk away, and she says, "Jorah, you do not turn your back on your queen. You swore that you would do everything I command, and I command you to find a cure. I command you to come back at your side to come back to my side when I conquer Westeros." And Jorah then departs, while Daenerys and Daario lead the Dothraki horde back to Meereen.
She said, "I need you by my side whenever I go to Westeros. Like, need you." That's like, maybe that's like the thing Dario's missing as well. It's just they're together because they fuck, but like whenever it's all said and done, is Daario going to become the king? Like, is he going to be ruling by the side with her? I don't know. Say she goes there right now. She gets some ships. Say Euron.
She goes there in 5 episodes.
Holy fucking yeah! I guess that is the cliffhanger, huh? Her setting sail. Yeah. So is it her setting
sail? Not far away from
that. Or her she arrives next season, right?
She arrives next season. She's on the boats at the end of this season.
Gotcha.
And yeah, no, Daario is not going to be king. That's not even a fucking option to her. Jorah is also not going to be king. That is also not an option to her. Like, it's a different thing, but she does see the potentiality of bringing Jorah with her as an advisor, as a help,
Yeah, he'd be a good, what would be his role? What would be a good role? Either, I guess, Tyrion.
I almost guarantee he'd be Hand of the Queen.
You think? Not Tyrion? He wouldn't be a good Master of Whisperers. Maybe Master of War. But yeah, Hand just.
But that'd be Grey Worm.
True. He is just more of a Hand. Yeah. That's fair. Tyrion would be a better any other Master of War than Jorah. So that's fair. Yeah, maybe could have been good old Hand. What? Because he does, Sam cures him. I remember that. I don't remember, what he does after that at all. Does he go back and he's like, "Yo, what's up, Daenerys? I'm fucking cured." Or...
Can't remember if he goes straight to Dragonstone. I think that's what happens. I think that she reunites with Jorah in front of Jon. And John's kind of like...
Oh. I always forget I have that poster. It's not up anymore, though.
Yeah, he goes beyond the wall with them.
He's in that group. I always forget. Yeah.
He's in the Suicide Squad. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I dig that. But yeah, this was...
But that Amelia Clarke was a no-brainer for me when I saw her performing. I think so far, this episode had the most cries at different storylines.
Yes. Handing the Jon his Ned's little thing. That
send off, Hodor. It was all emotionally riveting, man. But yeah, then we're heading to Meereen, wherein while the rulers are enjoying a tenuous peace, Tyrion reminds them they need to convince the Meereenese that everything has been done with Daenerys' hand. Like, she is the reason they found security, not just freedom. Yeah. And they could use Tyrion and Varys' foreign status against them to reclaim Slaver's Bay. And to that end, Tyrion invites Kinvara, the high priestess of the Red Temple of Atlantis, to negotiate spreading the word of Daenerys' accomplishments. And to Tyrion's surprise, Kinvara appears to be highly accommodating, already basically down, firmly believes that Daenerys is the prince that was promised. She is the one that we need to follow, and what she says is God. But Varys is a bit more skeptical.
Was I wrong? Like, I feel like I heard something that she is like the Pope version of the Red Priestess. It seemed like she is the
she is the High Priestess. Yeah.
Okay, so she answers to nobody. Like, she is the
besides the Lord of Light. But yeah.
Fair. So like Melisandre would be.
She is just a Red Priestess, not the High Priestess.
High Priestess. Gotcha. This is. I was talking about how like the play earlier was like their media, but this is their media and mind control. Like at the
propaganda.
Thank you. There is a word for that. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. Tyrion just being like, yeah, well, we need to let everyone know that Daenerys is like the hero here. How do we do it? Religion. It's like easy money. She has 3, and even the rest.
Make her also a deity. Like
literally,
and like the way, and it makes the most sense. This makes it seem like Melisandre is like a massive fucking outlier. When it comes to the Red Priestesses, or Red Priests, because of course Daenerys would be the one who they would think is the prince who was
literally
promised.
burned,
born via born via fire, reborn, purified by flame. Her dragons are fire made flesh. They say, it makes so much sense that she would be the prince who was promised.
Dude, it's literally like real life. We're in Essos, and this is like the real Pope. This is like Europe religion shit. Melisandre is just like the whatever the we fucked up Christianity. We just went all over the place with religion. So like maybe it's just kind of the same thing. But Game of Thrones wise, I see like Melisandre was always in the right spot to get to Jon. Stannis wasn't the prince who was promised, but Stannis brought her to Jon.
And that's what's interesting is that is Melisandre the one who's right? Has she gone out of her way to avoid the traditional dogma of the High Priestesses?
Okay. I was going a different direction. I was thinking that the Lord of Light knows that one priestess can't really control everything. They can only control what their area, where they're around. So the Lord of Light tells Melisandre, yes, the prince who is promised is Jon Snow. Over in Essos, it's Dany.
Well, and it's also funny to consider, did the time of prophecy reveal itself to them? Or have they been going around for like decades being like, maybe this is the prince who was promised?
This is their whole shit. They just do this over and over and over again, and now they're like, well, I guess this time it kind of worked, because I don't know.
I mean, like, I am curious if there's some sort of like the Night King, because there's an obvious tie where like the Lord of Light is the opposition to the Night King, basically. I think ultimately that's what the prince who was promised is supposed to defeat, is the army of the dead.
Oh yeah.
So
Ice and Fire.
I wonder if there was some sort of like awakening that the Red Priestesses had at the same time that the White Walkers kind of revealed themselves again, or I don't know.
I don't know. I guess I've never really dove.
Dove.
Yeah, dived. That just sounds. I don't even. I don't know if I've ever used the past tense of dove or divin, whatever I'm supposed to say, but this deeply into the Red Woman or their religion and stuff like that. But I mean it, because I was thinking more of just they all don't know. Like, I don't think it's one universal message. I think it's like different for every priestess sort of thing. But the Lord of Light would be the one that would know everything. It's, they're omniscient or whatever. They know what's going to happen anyways, whatever. So like they just control their priestess and tell them what they need to do to get John.
And it is all interpretation. Melisandre has made that clear too. Like, there is no directly speaking to him. They can only interpret it as it comes. But when it comes to a woman who cannot be burnt by flame and has 3 dragons, I don't even think you really need to commune with the Lord of Light to be like.
I think that's literally what Kinvara. Yeah, I think that's literally what she says. She's like, it's already going to work. She can't burn. She has 3 dragons. It's like this is going to be the easiest shit I've ever done. And I love how Varys comes up, and I think this is why we got that scene of Varys like kind of destroying that one Sons of the Harpy or whatever that lady was, so that we could get. Like, you think he's about to do it again, we're like, he's kind of shutting her down a little bit, but then Kinvara's just like, I forgot like how she turned it back around on him, because Varys was like,
she was just like, you remember that voice in the flames?
Dude, that's right.
Do you want to know what they said?
Yeah,
do you want to know who said it?
Or like, was it who or a name that they mentioned? I couldn't really read it right. She was saying like, do you know whose voice it was, or do you know the name of which they were speaking, or something? It was something.
She offers to repeat the words he heard in the flames and identify who it was that spoke.
Whoa, that was really sick.
Would have been awesome. We never see Kinvara again, which blows.
I mean, maybe. Like what? Whose voice? It has to have been, like, it probably would be someone we know. It's not just going to be the Lord of Light, It seems that she's saying like, this person too. Like we don't even know what they say or who it is though. I feel like it might be something relating to Dany though. Like I don't know. Yeah, Varys
like
is
my best guess based off of what we know is like, and who we know that could do anything like this is fucking Bran.
Yeah.
It's my best guess. And I don't...
Oh. Bran was the voice, you mean?
Yeah, like that's my best guess based off of like capability in my head. I'm like...
This felt like more of a blood match, because it was right when his dick was chopped off, thrown into the flames, and then he heard the voice.
No, yeah, like that's...
It could still be Bran. I mean, he doesn't give a fuck about any religion, I guess. He's just...
What really blows is this is one of those things that we never get any fucking follow-up on. We never figure this out.
Wow. Yeah, that was... I don't know. He got quiet, though. He was like... Like, I
horrified. Conleth Hill did a fantastic job.
Yeah, maybe that's like the one secret he has. Because he's the master of whisper. He hears everything, but no one knows like what the. They know he's in Munich. They know he got started from nothing and climbed his way up. But how do we even know? I guess we know now that his dick actually got chopped off by some weird ass blood magic people. Like, that seemed to be true. I remember I was talking before, like, maybe that's not even true. Like, this dude's the master of whisperers. Who are we to say, what the truth is for his life or not? But this kind of confirms it a little bit. This was real fear. He was really scared. He was like, oh shit, how do you fucking know
And I
that?
took it to mean that he does not know what was said. He just heard a voice.
Hello. There it is. I think he's like, how can we trust you? How the fuck do you know that Dany's the princess of promise? And she's like, oh, I literally know that your dick was chopped off, thrown in fire, and then words were spoken to you. I can tell you exactly what those words are if you want. So it's probably her way of just like authenticating.
Yeah,
herself.
Just sunning him. Like, I know what I'm doing, bro.
I got it. I got it like that. But okay.
That concludes the story in Marine. And then we're heading to the Iron Islands, whereas the King's Moot on Old Wick is held. Yara Greyjoy is the first to lay claim to the Salt Throne. And Yara argues that raiding the mainland is not enough for their people, and that they need to use military force to teach the mainlanders a lesson. An Ironborn man challenges Yara's candidacy on the grounds that she is a woman. We've never had a queen, so no. And Yara's like, there's a bunch of shit we've never done before. How about it?
I thought it was hilarious. Everyone is around there being like, yeah, we have led with you. You are the shit. And then this guy is like, she's a woman. And it's like, were you guys not all like behind her?
Like, yeah, like they were all like, oh yeah, no, that's true.
God, dude. Wow, you bringing that up.
Yara, that's crazy. What do you have to say about that? But then the guy stands up and is like, we're definitely not going to make a woman king, especially when Balon's rightful heir is returned. And Theon's like, yeah, no. So Yara is dope as fuck. Y'all have rode under her for a long time. She is a warrior, a reaver. She is Ironborn. She is your queen. And Alfie Allen fucking
almost got it.
Dude is probably, if there was like a way we could list who got second place the most in our our acting or our performance section, he is almost always second. Like, I fucking love him in this role.
He is a sleeper in the show. I've never paid much attention to him at all, but like every time he's on screen, his performance is just incredible. Like, he's the back and forth he's doing, like he's saying, yeah, I am Theon Greyjoy. You could even tell in him saying that he was like shaky. He's like I am Theon Greyjoy, you know, and he's like nervous to even say that. And then he gets a little more comfortable and he starts talking, so he does good, but he's like crying the whole time. He's like, eyes are very well. Like
there's such a rawness in him that is, because there's this mix of, this moment is like him kind of reclaiming his identity and reaffirming his commitment to his family and who he loves and who he is. And it's also just this deep admiration he has for his sister, who he hasn't known for that long in a real sense. You know what I'm saying? But he's seen what she's capable of, and he recognizes that she is the one, you know?
Yeah, I know it kind of felt like a Rhaenyra getting crowned out. You know, it wasn't near an ocean, I don't think, or maybe it was. It was like kind of on a cliff, and like crowning Rhaenyra. Kind of felt a little similar, but this one just didn't go the full length. You know, we didn't quite crown Yara, we crowned someone else. But
Euron then enters. He's like, "Sup? Nope. I'm gonna lay claim to the Salt Throne."
What's
up, Theon? Guys? You're a pussy, and you don't have a dick.
Yeah,
I heard.
Yara, what's up with you?
No wonder you think a woman can be king, dickless.
Yeah, that was a low blow there.
Yeah,
and then like Yara coming up, being like, "Yeah, oh well, now she's like, when did you get here?" And he's like, "Oh, a couple days ago." And she's like, "Oh, okay.
I know what my first act is.
I'm killing you. You killed my father. Fuck you." And then Euron's just like, "Yeah,
damn right,
I did. I threw him off that fucking bridge. He was old as shit."
Yara immediately was like, fuck, I played that wrong. You know, like, she was just talking about how they've been disrespected. Nobody has ever shown them any ounce of respect. Balon never did anything to gain the respect of the mainlanders. We have to do that. And then Euron walks in and is like, "You're goddamn right, I killed him. And here's why." And she's like, fuck. You know, she's like, yeah, no, of course they're gonna fucking love that. You know, like that's
yeah, and one valid point he did have was that he has been all over the world. Like, I feel like that's like the one thing he actually had that like over Yara. It was like an actual reason why he should lead instead. But yeah, he just really focused on like, no, I just do whatever the fuck I want. I'm crazy. You guys know I'm crazy. And yeah, I mean, this I don't really like Euron. Really, I don't really pay. I guess in previous rewatches, I really didn't like pay attention to the storyline really at all. It didn't really interest me whenever there's dragons and Jon Snow and Arya going on at the same time. But
at least in this season, he's like a newcomer onto the scene. There's potential. He looks like he's going to be a player. He's talking about marrying Daenerys Targaryen, and he's a complete douchebag. You know you're not going to like him. You know he's not the guy you're going to be like, fuck yeah, you're on. Yeah. But it's like a new dude in the scene that you know you're going to fucking hate, and that's exciting. Mm-hmm. But you think you're going to hate him because he's a good character? You end up hating him because he's fucking useless.
Yeah, he doesn't.
The way this character evolves,
like
just design-wise, the character design evolving to what it is in season 8. I don't know if you remember this. What he's doing now, I wish they stuck with this vibe. They end up going for like a big-time leather Captain Hook, weird sort of shit going on.
Oh yeah, he does look like that. What the fuck?
Goth pirate shit. I'm like, what are you cooking? The costume's fine. You know, like the costume in and of itself is fine. That is just not what the Iron Islanders rock. And it's not what Euron's doing at all right now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just completely different than what they start him as. So again, we are getting to that point in the show where we are already like season 6, episode 5. I feel like I have brought up multiple times already how we are beginning an evolution towards when shit goes bad. And it's like the third time I've said it this episode.
Literally, the further and further they get removed from the written content that's already there, it's just like, it's just falling apart, you know?
And like, Euron could be fine. Like, Euron could have been fine. And like, season 6 Euron is the best Euron, you know?
The Iron Islands, they weren't a factor in the War of Five Kings at all. This at least seems that there would be something there, you know? Like, the Iron Islands 7,
there's a little bit of something there, if I recall, but regardless, Theon, you know, he counters, Euron's been gallivanting around the world, and Yara's like, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build the biggest fleet the Iron Island and the world has ever seen. And Euron's like, okay, cool. Yeah, I plan to do that too. But then I'm going to ride right across the narrow sea, and I'm going to deliver that fleet to Daenerys Targaryen. And therein, Iron Islander will be the king of the 7 kingdoms. With my big cock.
Not gonna lie.
Fantastic plan.
Good plan. Actual good plan, just at the fact that it's Euron, you know, is like...
Yeah, no, like, the way he's delivering it, horrendous. But the plan itself is like, airtight. This sealed the fucking deal, you know, like... Yara heard this. She goes, you plan on marrying the Dragon Queen? And it's kind of like a, fuck, that's a good idea.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah, it's like you're running for school president, and you don't know why you're doing it in the first place. And they're like, oh, so what are you going to do if you're school president? You're like, I don't know. I'll make things better. I'll do this, whatever. And then another person running, they just actually have something that they're going to do. And it's just like, oh, well, fuck.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot more than I can do right now.
I guess
Yara. Frankly, I wish Yara would have brought the biggest fleet of all time over to Daenerys and then married her. I think that'd have been cool.
I feel like Dany could be into Yara.
Dany is absolutely into chicks, and we have not gotten enough of that. But there is a scene, probably before the end of the season, when Theon and Yara go before Daenerys. Oh, and there's a fucking tension there, buddy.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, like it's okay. Fucking real. And obviously we got season 1 episode, whatever the fuck, whenever her and her servant get down.
That's true. That is true. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yara, that would be
that'd be a dope. I mean, like, they were never gonna do that, but goddamn, I wish they had the balls to. You know, if you were gonna go that far off the fucking rails, why not? You know,
Oh, yeah. And then I guess we would have never gotten, like, I don't know how that fits in with, like, her and Jon and all that stuff, because, like, that part is cool of the show. It's
that part is also very cool, you know, like, that is what you're building towards. There's, like, for seasons, you're going, when are Jon and Daenerys going to meet? You know, like, that is the point of this show.
Isn't that crazy? They get you to want them to meet the whole time, you're honestly like, all right, when are they gonna fuck? They're so hot. They're so good for each other. They're literally the best characters in the show. When are they gonna get
like,
together?
Aunt and uncle. One of them's evil. One of them hates the other person for being her aunt. You know, like
damn.
It's
after they fuck as well. Beautiful.
He can never feel comfortable with that again.
No,
but Yara, you don't have any of those problems. It's just we're both hot. We both rule. So let's do this thing. Anywho, Euron is like, that's my plan, and the Ironborn are like, that's our king. Let's do this shit. And the drowned men priest, Aeron Greyjoy, the other brother of Euron and Balon, who has just removed himself entirely, by the way.
Like, I'm way too old for this shit. Like, no,
I'm way too old, and also I've committed myself to being a priest, so I'm good.
Fair.
Leads Euron down to the sea to be drowned and reborn, as is the custom. I think it's hilarious that if they just drown and don't wake up, they're like, oops, guess we need another king. Well, that's the other thing, is that, like, if they drown and they don't wake up, they die, they're not worthy. They aren't supposed to be king. You know, that's I
guess I get it, but, like,
brutal custom.
What sets someone apart from being able to not drown better than another person? You know, I guess maybe if you've done it before.
That's the other thing, is that there is a certain it's this piousness in the drowned god. You know, they don't do shit to revive this man. They let him drown, and then they lay him down. And if it is the drowned god's will, he will spit up all that water and live.
That's true.
You know,
and they're like, their religion part, it's kind of hard. They're like, what is dead may never die. You know, you die, you become indestructible. You know, whatever. It's like, it is kind of sick. You know.
No, yeah, like, they're brutal as fuck, but, like,
I mean, it's
what a wild culture.
Mm-hmm. What a faith. Yeah, just drown. He just said he knows it's coming too. Like, he's like, well, if I'm going to become king, I gotta drown here.
Well, and I love that he never even, like, Yara and Theon, like, dip. They're like, well, we are going to fucking die.
Yeah.
We are out of here. And then Euron wakes up and he's like, wait, where are my niece and nephew? You know, he's like, we got to kill them. He didn't think to, like, imprison them before that.
Nope.
Fucking idiot.
Nope. Yeah, no, not at all. Because, like, he's not the king yet. You know, he's the king after he wakes up. You mean true. Just like imprison him first and then kill him if you want to, or you mean like before he goes to drown? Yeah,
imprison them because he's been declared king, and then if he doesn't wake up, no harm, no foul. They just get released.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious that they're just like, all right, yeah, we're taking every ship we got. See you later. Like, it's weird.
And that's why I think they just go to Essos. I'm pretty sure they just go to Marine. And that's where we see that scene with them standing before Daenerys.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure it's their ships
that Daenerys comes over on?
That Daenerys takes over.
That would make sense. There are no boats in Marine at all. They all got burned down. Or is that... I don't know. I think that's Marine.
That's Marine. Yeah, you're right.
So I guess the ships wouldn't come from anywhere else.
No, it tracks, but that concludes the story in the Iron Islands. And we head to our last location beyond the Wall, wherein the three-eyed raven is showing Bran a vision of a heart tree amid spirals of standing stones in a lush green valley. And his vision shows Leaf and other children of the forest talking amongst themselves, then looking eagerly at the captive bound to the tree. Leaf approaches and forces a dragon glass dagger into the captive's heart. The captive screams, but does not die, instead becoming what I believe we can assume is the Night King.
Yeah, it seems like it. This is the first creation. This is the weapon of war that they're making. You know, this is kind of like their Manhattan Project of sorts. And the secret, you know, I love how does she have the children of the forest that's standing there right in front? Yeah, Leaf. I love how Leaf is she knows what Bran is seeing right now, kind of, and she knows that Bran's going to be like, oh, you gonna be pissed. And she's like, I know what you saw. I understand. We were at war. We needed a weapon.
This episode, I think something kind of became clear to me.
Okay.
You know, there was all the fucking, what do the spirals mean? What's the spiral, man? Do the White Walkers have like a society they go back to, or what's the deal, man? No, they don't. Their base of operations is that fucking tree. That is where they hang out.
Yeah.
That is just where they set up camp.
Spiral is not from the White Walkers. It is from the Children of the Forest. Those stones were already there in that spiral before the Night King was even created.
And the Night King adapted it as their fucking logo. It's just their symbol. It's just, we've been here. You know, like, that's all that shit is. And that's fucking hysterical.
Maybe that's how a white is created.
Like, there has to be a spiral. It's part of their...
One of the godswoods, you know, or is it... I always get the trees, the name.
Yeah, it is
a
heart tree. Heart tree.
Okay. Yeah, sitting at a heart tree, get the spiral going, shove the dragon glass right in. I mean, I'm assuming the Children of the Forest have some magic going on as well there. That it, like, not just a random group of people.
Some sort of ritualistic formation, you know? Like, we've seen now the Night King just turn a fucking baby into a White Walker, too.
That's true, with his finger just straight up. Yeah, I guess they don't need any ritual. It's just, gimme babies. So
give me baby. I need the baby.
Okay, fair. It is weird. And, you know, a lot of the stuff's not ever figured out or anything. It's like, I think it's just cool that the thing to kill them is, like, what created them in the first place, too. Like, just a shard of dragon glass just shoved in your chest, and that's what... Right, it was just dragon glass? There was nothing else? Like, it was, like, maybe not like a shard of the tree or some shit? It's just a...
I'm pretty sure it's just dragon glass that gets shoved into his chest.
Okay.
That's it.
And that's all it takes. Night King born.
Yeah, can you just do this to any fucking human at any fucking time and they become a White Walker?
Oh. I would assume the Children of the Forest need to be there. Yeah. But like I don't think
sort of magic they have that
I don't think this. like just some like Bran, well, maybe Bran, who knows what Bran's capable of, but like say just Jon and Sansa are trying to make a night. I don't think it works for them. I don't know. I feel like it's a Children of the Forest type thing.
No, you're probably right. But Bran, you know, confronts Leaf immediately. Is like, you did this shit. What the fuck? And Leaf's like, yo, we were at war with you, motherfucker, first off. And we were desperate. You know, we had to do something. We made a mistake. That's that. And also very important is that this tree is in no way covered in snow. It is green. It is beautiful. That is what the North used to be.
Yeah. Before winter came, I guess, you know.
Well, and then that's what we see at the end of the show when Jon marches north. The grass is beginning to grow and stuff is beginning to come back, and it's like, oh, okay.
I believe, you remember the chain reaction I asked you whenever we did the blah, blah, blah. I believe
we've done it.
Did. I believe, yeah, there it is. I think kind of the same beat here. Night King kind of can mirror a nuclear bomb. Even worse than a nuclear bomb, honestly, because you kill the people, then you gain those people as well. With a nuclear bomb, those people are just gone.
Just dead.
Yeah.
But, later, Bran is the only one in the cave awake and is like, maybe I go back to that weirwood tree. Or go back into the weirwood tree, I should say.
Yeah.
And Bran wargs into the tree by himself and sees the army of the dead. He slowly walks through the army until he comes to a space occupied by 4 White Walkers, including the Night King. As Bran becomes aware that the Night King and the dead are now able to see him, what a fantastically scary scene.
I think I chose the part to where he shows up to the tree. Like he's actually there in real life now, not in Bran's kind of mission or vision. But I loved everything. Like, I didn't know like how much of this could be considered a scene, but I feel like
what the fuck is this now?
What?
How does the Night King do this? What is this? Okay. It blows my fucking mind.
I had some thoughts whenever this was going on, and one question I wanted to ask: this tree where the Night King was created, it was green and lush and spiral, whatever. Mm-hmm. Is this the same tree in which the Third Raven is below?
Oh no,
different tree.
Different tree.
So, okay,
the one that Bran shows up at, where they are all standing, that's the tree he was turned into a White Walker at. Okay. The stones are still there.
Yes,
the tree's still there.
Yes. I feel like, legitimately, like these trees, their roots just fucking go everywhere. Yeah. And, like, that's how the Three-Eyed Raven knows everything, is, he's literally a part of the tree sort of thing. The Night King was created right by one of these trees. His home base of operations is one of the trees.
Yeah, maybe he has the same access that the Three-Eyed Raven has, sort of.
The children of the forest and the Three-Eyed Raven are just chill. But, like, how did their relationship start? Did they create the Three-Eyed Raven as well? Did they just stumble upon him, sort of thing? Like, I wonder how their relationship started.
Yeah, I don't know.
But at least the Night King himself, like, it's clear that they had some magical barrier protecting, him being able to see them. I'm assuming he is just a warg himself, and he uses his army to see shit, and that's why he can't see anything south of the wall.
That makes sense.
And so he knows everything that's happening north of the wall, just because he can warg and shit. But I feel like there's something else because he sees Bran.
Yeah,
like
he touches.
Yeah,
Bran.
He notices Bran right away, and then everyone else notices him. So it's like he's the hive mind, Like, I guess for some reason the whites couldn't. Like, it is still him in the whites, in the undead just horde. They couldn't see him.
Well, and like, also there's this air of they don't make a sound. They are just all of a sudden facing the other way, which isn't how things work, like, it's just, it's very, very ominous and freaky shit. And then when he pulls out of the vision, he's got the fucking blue handprint on his arm. It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's just, and I know we don't actually get any answers to these questions, and I don't necessarily desire them, but it's just so interesting to be like, this guy is so fucking powerful. What can you even do here?
Yeah. I mean, he shows up, he just destroys that magic bear. Like he just puts his hand on the ground and just is like, boom, it's gone.
That's it.
Because I was wondering, I'm like, how does he get past the magic barrier? Like, what
super
does he do?
Fucking funny.
Do we see hordes just run and you just die and shit, or like he's just
That was the other fucking thing too, is that this was probably the most horrendous line in the episode for me, just because it's so explain away shit. Where, he wakes up, screams, wakes the others, and the Three-Eyed Ravens, he's like, the Night King will be here soon. And he's like, but he can't get in now. He can't, right? And he's like, now his mark is upon you. He can. Okay. And then, and that's fine, so that's one of those examples where it's like, thank God they don't explain magic most of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like it was he has all this magic and stuff, but he just doesn't know where Bran or the Three-Eyed Raven is. Like, it's literally the only thing he doesn't know, but now he knows the location. Now he moves, because you're right. They're just chilling by that tree. Like, the whole time. He's just chilling there, waiting for something to happen. He's like, oh.
And it cannot have been that far away. They're there in, like, I mean, I guess we don't know how much time passes here. It could have been quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could have been hours, but, like, in the episode, it's like 10 fucking minutes.
Yeah, he's like, upload all my information to you now, Brand. We gotta speed run this shit. And
this is the other thing that was so fucking funny to me. He's like, all right, it's time for you to become me, Bran. And Bran's like, am I? And the Raven says, "Ooh,
nope."
And then that's it. But the hilarious thing, the funniest fucking thing to me is that he's like, you must become me. And then he's like, here's this one vision.
I do think something clicked for me with this vision though, because I've always wondered the same thing. Maybe there's something more happening in Bran, like there's some, like he's just getting everything else too at the same time. But this shows Bran that he has control. Hodor's life was completely taken just so Bran could survive this one to become a Three-Eyed Raven and go on. So, like, in this one vision, he realizes, like, I can look back at any part of time. I can actually control anything I want, sort of thing. And, but that is a little weird how, like, in one vision, now he's the Three-Eyed Raven, did something else.
Like that was that. I understand that, like, it shows him just how powerful he is, like how much power he's capable of and everything. But like, it's so funny that he's just like, now you must become me. And then he takes him into a vision and we're in Winterfell and he's like, okay, cool. Yeah. All right. I can do this.
Is the idea that you can only see the past and affect the future, or they know all? Like, does he know the future as well? Because if he knew the future,
I don't believe he knows the future. I believe he has his methods to shape it. Well, and that's the other thing, is that this Bran, where he's at now, no, he does not know the future. The Bran who exists 50 years from now does know the last 50 years. So, like, that Bran could be doing stuff, like, there's...
Yeah, it might be a Dr. Manhattan.
It's a very time is a flat circle thing.
Yeah, it might be a Dr. Manhattan situation where he knows everything that will happen in his life. But as far as if he just wanted to go in Essos and check in on somebody, that's just a warg, has to be present time or past. Can't go into the future there, maybe.
Future, yeah. Like the future stuff, that's the toughest part to figure out.
It has to be his own future.
That I see that. I could see that. But yeah, past wise, he can go anywhere. That's anywhere's possible there.
If it's a Three-Eyed Raven ability to see your own future, though, you'd think this Three-Eyed Raven would see his death coming right here. He knows he'd die by the Night King or whatever. I don't know, and he'd know that it is time.
But yeah, there's like the whole things have to happen the way they're going to happen, and they can't. It's that Tenet quote, what happens happened.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
Also, like Dr. Manhattan, he can't affect it.
Yeah. I feel like the Night King touching Bran is like the thing that kind of changed everything.
Yeah.
Like, if Bran pops out before the Night King touches him, I think they just continue like normal. Night King doesn't know where they are.
Yeah, no doubt.
They're just training, but...
This definitely changed shit. This changed the plan big time. But, yeah, as Mira and Hodor prepare to leave, they notice the air is cold as their breath is visible and indicating the arrival of the army of the dead. The Night King and 3 White Walkers start marching toward the cave.
God damn.
And the children of the forest try their best to use their magic projectiles to fend the walkers off, but are very quickly overwhelmed. They light a fire around the entrance to prevent the whites, and it does prevent a lot of the whites for a while, but the walkers extinguish the pathway and walk through anywho.
They're like, this shit doesn't bother us.
We are so fucking cold, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, and then, but I love how all the undead, like, they could just run through it. Like, a few of them would die, yeah.
No, and that's what they do. Do you remember in season 8 during the battle at Winterfell, whenever they light the whole fucking ring, and then some of them just lay down and walk over the other dead ones?
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought would happen here. Maybe, this is Children of the Forest, so granted there could be some magic spell going on there.
Right. They do get in, so...
Yeah, I thought, it makes it more badass, though. If it was just an all-out horde, it's so much cooler than just walking in. just all by themselves. And
for sure.
I wonder if the Night King was here for Bran, or if like this was like, oh, now I know, like if he's in the know of the Three-Eyed Raven, you know?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Because he looks at him, he's like, finally, like I get to kill you. Like this is like a big, like
this is a big victory for the Night King.
Big victory. Yeah. But man, no, I love this whole, from the moment that like the breath starts to get cold. Whenever they notice their breath is visible and Mira runs out, she's like, oh fuck. From that moment on until I guess hold the door would be my scene. But yeah, right. I loved this part. I don't know. I was trying to dissect every little thing. I'm 1, counting the Hodors. I'm 2, trying to understand the Night King's magic, understanding Bran's magic, understanding the Children of the Forest magic, understanding all this shit at once. Yeah, not as many Hodors as we thought. Didn't really cross my mind that he's being warged, and he doesn't talk at all when Bran is warging him.
Yeah, this I have mixed feelings about this. It ultimately just lends itself to being tragic. It's not like, it'd be one thing if it was just like, man, Hodor rode for Bran. What a real one. He had no fucking choice in the matter. Bro had to ride for Hodor. Or had to ride for Bran. And there is the question. There's that moment during the flashback where Willis looks directly at Bran and is like, right before he starts seizing. So is that the danger of Bran affecting the past? Is that they will become what Hodor became, essentially?
Oh. Yeah. I guess, like, if Hodor, it needs to be there to save Bran, like, it has to start from some, like, it's got to start from somewhere. And it makes sense that it's, when he sees him, it's like, you're not real, or I don't, like, it's some magic shit that's happening,
That's my thing, is that I feel like people often play this up as like, Hodor always knew what his purpose was, and he has no fucking idea.
The tragedy is that he was completely forced into it. That, like,
yeah,
I'm like, whenever I'm like crying at the end, I'm like, what? A little bit of
I
it is
feel
like, losing Hodor.
So fucking bad.
Yeah,
for like, Hodor.
Yeah, he was kidnapped. More than kidnapped, like completely, just his life was taken away from the very like start, and that's the tragedy of it. Not that he held it down and held the door, like, who even knows if that's actually Hodor in there holding the door down? Is it Bran? He's still warging, so like, probably not even Hodor. Hodor doesn't even know he died, maybe, like,
yeah, no, that's the saddest part of this shit, man. Is that Hodor has so little say in his fate. And I like to think, I'm pretty sure Hodor's. Oh wait, his eyes come back immediately after being worked into anyway. Right? Like they don't just remain milky white.
A little up at first, but then it comes back.
Yeah. So that's my thing, is that like, no, I don't think it's Hodor holding the door. I do think that's Bran, and that's fucked. Underrated part of this whole scene, which I completely fucking forgot, is that Mira is the third person to kill a White Walker.
Yeah, just a dragon glass spear, right? Just chucks it.
Yep.
Chucks it right at him. Yeah, that was sick.
She's like, oh shit, dope.
Like, fuck yeah. Yeah, that's the deaths of the episode. White Walker, Summer, which did suck. I like Direwolf Summer. That did suck to see. That was an actual. Summer does ride for Bran. And did
Summer. R.I.P. Summer, man.
The sacrifice play. Three-Eyed Raven went bye-bye. And I was also thinking, like, in the same way Hodor was taken, Mira and Jojen were probably taken, but it wasn't Bran yet. It was the Three-Eyed Raven that took them.
No, that's absolutely what happened to Jojen.
Yeah, I guess Mira could have. I don't know about Mira.
Mira's just going based off the word of her brother.
Damn.
Like, this is what her brother said had to be done. Like, I don't think Mira's life has been determined for her. I think Jojen's was kind of. Like, he got put on a path. Because I'm pretty sure he even says, like, the Three-Eyed Raven visited me and he told me I had to come to you. And, you know, so.
It's the same thing. And, oh my fucking, I think that might have just clicked. Like, Hodor cannot warg. Cannot do anything at all. So, like, whenever he encounters Bran, seizure. His brain can't understand it. It's just fucking, I can't do it.
Jojen can.
Warg. So he had a conversation with the Three-Eyed Raven, so that's why he doesn't seize, you know, maybe, and, like, he can...
Yeah, maybe there's, like, if you warg and visit someone who has the sight, as Jojen called it, maybe that goes differently. Yeah.
Or it could have been an experience thing. The Three-Eyed Raven has been doing this for a lot longer. Maybe he knows how to interact with people correctly.
And maybe there's also a thing where, you know, Willis is hearing Mira yell, "Hold the door."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, is there...
I think it's... The Three-Eyed Raven did not take Hodor and make him follow Bran all the time. No. It was this moment right here of Bran realizing...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's fucky, but, like...
No, it's still a flat circle. This comes after the death of the Three-Eyed Raven, and therein, he had no way of really knowing this is what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Hodor, I feel like Bran, like that, this is why the Three-Eyed Raven is showing him this vision. It is very important. You have everything going on. You are here, you're where your body is, you can still hear, and obviously the Hodor can hear too. Can hear Mira say, you know, hold the door, whatever. But it is this moment that Bran realizes that, like, Hodor has to be with me whenever I'm here, so now I have to change the past, sort of thing. Like, I have to make Hodor follow me, you know, like, it's not maybe a purposeful thing, but it's like, just, if Hodor's here now saving me, this has to happen back then, or whatever, I don't know, sort of thing, and maybe that's why it fucked up with Hodor, you know, because it's the first time Bran is affecting the future. But then as he gets better and better, it's undetectable sort of thing. Like, you don't even notice it.
Yeah, no, that's a sound theory. You know, it would be, you know, practice makes perfect sort of thing. This is the very crude first attempt at it, and it just sacrifices poor little Willis.
God damn, man. Yeah, that's...
But yeah, no, this is one of those endings. I fucking sobbed at the end of this episode. My favorite line is "Hold the door," as stated by Mira, and then by Willis. But I will never, ever, ever forget the way I felt the first time watching this. Like, whenever Willis looks directly at Bran and then just drops and he starts going, "Hold the door, hold the door, hold the door, hold the door, hold door, hold door, hold door." I remember being like, "Oh, what the fuck?" You know, just absolutely mind-bending, fucked up over it. You know, like, absolutely destroying any brain cells I had remaining.
Did you watch the director's little cut after the episode?
They don't have those on the Blu-ray. Or not, they don't have them built in. I could access them, but I didn't.
So, I forgot which of the D&D it was, but one of them said that at this point, they don't have George R. R. Martin, so they have meetings with him, and they literally said they are trying to pry out as much information as they possibly can. And this was one bit of information they gave him, was the origin of Hodor, his name, and how it all came to be. And they said they were just in like a bar or something, but they were like, they had this huge moment themselves just in a bar, not even on the screen, just George R. R. Martin telling them was like a mind blow, like a crazy moment for them is what they said. So they're like, it has to be part of the show. Is there?
It's fucking hysterical. That's so fucking funny. Just as far as the prowess of D&D themselves, just being like, whoa, I didn't even think of that. Like, it's just because they wouldn't, that's not a them thing. It's a no-brainer that's not a them thing. It's good. Therefore, it can't be a them thing,
Yeah, no, it's incredible. Like, it just why have they gotten so much? Why were they trusted with this? X-Men Origins Wolverine was one of them, and then they're like, yeah, give them Game of Thrones. That's just what the fuck.
Well, it's because
maybe just puppets. Maybe because they are so shit that George R. R. Martin would have to carry, just like actually do the work.
100%. The thing is, we just talked about this the other day. The 6th book was due in 2015.
8 years ago. Holy shit. Yeah, that is.
It was due 8 years ago. They thought that was like 3 seasons into the show's run.
Yeah, they thought it would be done. They thought it'd be done.
They thought they were set. They didn't think they'd ever have to do anything beyond adapting it into television. And frankly, that they were really fucking good at. There's a lot of stuff that they did not have, that they couldn't involve in the show, and they broke it down to its bare bones and got it across in a super compelling way. And for that, you have to give them credit. They were incredibly good at adapting this into television show. Once they had the reins, it became a fucking mess.
Yeah, it's just, we're crossing the threshold of halfway through the season, and I think you're right of it. Just we're going to notice a little downtrend, in how things are written and stuff like that. But
absolutely hysterical. This is also, by the way, David Benioff had been a movie writer. He wrote The 25th Hour, which got directed by Spike Lee, stars Ed Norton. I'm not sure how good that is, but I've heard pretty decent things. Also wrote X-Men Origins Wolverine, of course. D.B. Weiss's first writing credit, Season 1, Episode 1, Winter is Coming.
They're puppets. They are put there so that, and maybe their writing assistant, they are the directors, I guess. So, but they do write for the show, though, is the thing, right? Like, they are the directors and the writers of the show?
They hardly direct.
Oh, wait, they just write. They're just the
D.B. Weiss directed 3 episodes of this show.
Is that what they are? Like, don't they have a title that's not just a
showrunners?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. So they're like the Dave Filoni of the
Jon
show.
Favreau,
like
Dave Filoni.
Jon Favreau. I got you. Okay.
Let's see. Yeah. They've each directed 3 episodes, and they were the same 3 episodes.
Nice. Yeah, that's.
And one of those is the finale. Grand.
At least we had a good run, and and even the end, it's not all bad. It is not all bad.
No. It's not. It's not horrendous, but
time. Like, even with the ending, it is still probably the greatest show of all time. Like, there's not much
well deserving of that title too.
And a hard thing to declare, but we do have a total. Because there are no more Hodors, right? Like, there's
never another Hodor. I don't believe.
No, because we do have some Ned appearances, but I don't think
there's any Hodor flashbacks.
Okay. Do you have a guess on how many total in the entire show? I have the number.
What did we come down on in this one? What was the?
I believe it is 31. Subtitles helped a whole lot. There were some where, like, it's off. He's just very scared. Hodor, saying it, to himself off screen. I do count, though. It has to come from Hodor. Can't come from anyone else.
It has to be heard. Yeah.
Has to be coming from him a clear Hodor. I got 31, I believe, for this episode. If anything, I lowballed it. So I think it could be a little bit above, but I think I did count it twice, and I got it 31 both times. So that was this episode. You guessed 35. I guessed 44. So you definitely won that one for sure. Total wise, you Google it, it says 60 something. I remember.
Ooh, no, bullshit.
Don't know who counted. Don't know who they were or what the fuck math they're doing.
We've gotten 60 in like 2 episodes, or close to it. So I'm gonna go 75 to 80.
Okay. The grand tally. 109.
What?
109 Hodors were said from season 1 episode. Well, I guess the first one was season 1 episode 4. But then all the way until this episode, 109 Hodors were spoken. And yeah, that is all. I remember I did some Googling just to I was planning to double check my count and be like, oh, I bet someone else has done this. Counted every single Hodor. And then I saw 60 something. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I'm not sure about this count, but yeah, the only count that could be off would be this episode, and it'd be off by 1 or 2.
Gotcha.
So it is definitely above 100 Hodors for the whole show. That's for sure. Okay. Yeah, and that man, I'll have to black out these boxes now. We won't need them anymore. That is so sad. Yeah.
Fuck, man, I'm gonna miss Hodor. He was a good dude. Didn't deserve the shit he got.
Nope.
Poor guy.
Literally time napped. Completely kidnapped. Like Loki type shit, in the TVA. Just not a
life
good...
was taken away from him.
Mm-hmm. I want to see his life on the sacred timeline. What he'd be doing if he was not Hodor. Would he just be a stable boy? Was that what he was? He was just
He'd be a super gay pirate.
He'd be Euron Greyjoy's husband.
No, he's in Our Flag Means Death.
Oh, he is, and he is a gay pirate.
Actor is. And he is extremely funny. Gets a much grander opportunity to perform in that show.
Wait, you're telling me he doesn't just have one word that he can say?
Not one word every time. No, he's also a DJ. Very, very talented man.
Hell yeah!
Let me get his name pulled up because I feel bad that I'm not giving him credit.
Oh yeah, Hodor. Is he not even on the IMDb front page for this episode? Criminal! That is criminal that they don't have Hodor for his episode. But he is Kristen Nairn? Kristen Nairn.
Christian Nairn. Yep.
Oh yeah.
What a G. An absolute pimp. Wee John. Plays Wee John in Our Flag Means Death. Very, very funny guy. Love him in that. But we say goodbye to another real one, a couple of real ones.
Yeah, Hodor, Summer, Three-Eyed Raven, I guess. I didn't really care about him too much. But Leaf was cool. I don't
Leaf
know.
was dope. Yeah, she does the sacrifice play, which does
I Am Legend mode. Yep.
Nothing.
Yeah, just a little bit more delay, I guess. Yeah, fair enough. If she didn't blow up there, they closed the door at the last. They buzzer beated that shit.
That's fair. That's fair.
Very last second. So if Leaf doesn't do that, who knows? Who knows? I think she knew her time was over anyways. All the other children of the forest were gone too, right?
Yeah, she was it.
Remaining. Yeah, that's sad. No more children of the forest.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Leaf, R.I.P. Summer, R.I.P. Hodor, and R.I.P. Max von Sydow, both in the show and in real life.
Mm-hmm. Man. And a White Walker, but we don't give a fuck about
Fuck him.
So that's, yeah. It was good shit, Mira. Good throw.
Fuck yeah, Mira. Mira makes it through, I'm pretty sure. I don't think she dies. She rocks.
All the way?
All the way.
Damn. Does she like get to live her own life eventually though? Like, or she's not with Bran the whole time, right?
No, yeah, I think she gets Bran back to Winterfell, and by then he's all robot mode, and he's like, "Thank you," and she's like, "Really? That's it? I've sacrificed my fucking life for you, and all you could say is thank you." That whole thing, and I'm pretty sure that might be the last time we see her, but I don't think she dies, so that's cool.
I don't know, her and her in very rare company, Jon Snow, Samwell Tarly, and Mira. Does she have a last name? Mira
Reed.
Mira Reed. The three in the show right now that have killed a White Walker. Right? I don't think I'm forgetting anyone.
Nope.
Wow.
She's third. And I don't think there's another White Walker that's straight up killed until Arya killed the Night King.
Yeah, like, holy shit. And that's the thing. The record, the KD ratio for the war that is happening right now, the Night King, 3. Everyone else, like, thousands. Like he's only he's plus. Like, he's added to his army. He's only lost 3 of the big dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
Does that even fucking matter, really? Are those just his homies, Like, what do they actually do in the wars at all?
They're just the more formidable opponents.
I feel like they're literally just like a Wi-Fi router, like a long distance repeater. Like, he can chill at the home tree, but he sends one of them out and then an army around them. But you need that like Wi-Fi extender. So the White Walker's like the consciousness extender, where he can just hold back and whatever. Does he control them, or do they have their own?
I'm pretty sure they're of their own mind.
They are just normal babies. Most of them, probably.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure they're just dudes who are this type of guy.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So
found a new type of guy. He's blue and scary.
It'd be interesting to see if the next White Walker that dies is the Night King.
I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't think any White Walkers die when they do the Suicide Squad mission north of the Wall. And that, I think, would be the only time before the end of the show that we're at the Battle of Winterfell.
They gain a dragon, so like they really only gain their army. They never lose anything.
Yeah. No, that's like it. But yeah, man, another fucking goodie, another great one in the books. How are we feeling, rating wise?
This one had a different feel to it. Kind of the whole episode. I think
we might got a surefire 10 for me.
This one was pretty sick. Yeah, I mean, every scene that we checked in on, it was awesome. Arya was perfect. Finally, a little bit more substance to her story there, and that scene was awesome. The Sansa finally, like, she's really come into her own now, performing her ass. Daenerys, I mean, that, like, she got the performance on. I think she performed better than Sophie Turner did with less time. Like, that was one scene that she was in with just Jorah and Dario, and that was it, right? Like, that's incredible. Yeah. So yeah, I think this one's there. It has the Hodor moment as well. I don't think there's any more justification we need to give a 10. Wow.
Got a cool horror moment and the vision with Bran and stuff. Like, that was dope.
Wow. Hardhome was
I think critically, it lends itself to being a great episode. I think, I said a lot of stuff where this sort of leads, and that's not this episode's fault.
No. For the episode, man, I don't know. They were kind of spitting a lot of similar, I guess, ish themes with a new person that has never taken the title before, sort of thing. Seems to be the theme of this episode.
Yeah, Bran becoming the Three-Eyed Raven and Sansa, Arya, the Queen in the North-ish thing.
Woman. We got Khaleesi, the Mother of Dragons, the Unburnt, the Breaker of Chains, and now
Khaleesi.
She already was Khaleesi. I don't know. I feel like she deserves, like, this is another name that she should earn right here. Like the first,
the Great Khaleesi.
Ooh,
because it's the Great Call. Like,
I like that. The Great Khaleesi. I do like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking 9.5.
Yeah, that'd be the highest of the season. We've given a 9.25. That was for episode 2 home. I think we're there. This one felt good. It just felt very, very good all around. So yeah, okay. If we do give it that, I think 967 would be the math there. 97% basically.
It's one of the best episodes ever.
Yeah, let's see. That is Hard Home is a 983. That's one that's above it. Nothing else in season 5 is above it. 5. Yep. Nope. Watchers on the Wall, the penultimate of season 4, is a 983 as well. That is above it. So 2.
And it appears the finale of season 4, the children tied this one.
I didn't see that. Okay. So 2 above, 1 tie, and a 983, Reigns of Castamere. There will be a third above it, and 967.
And now his watch has ended, tied it.
Mm-hmm. Another tie, so a 3-way tie, and any in season 2? Yeah, a couple. The penultimate, Blackwater, 975.
It would not if we took away the genre rating.
Okay, that is true. I forget, going back into season 2, all of that does change things. Should we just axe them completely and just finish it? Okay.
I'm kind of surprised we haven't.
Because not all of them are 10s. Like, there are some 8s and 9s. And
I think that just skews the rating in a weird way. We need even footing, you know?
And I shall do that. But, another tip-top episode for the series, that's for sure.
Man.
Got one. So.
What a fucking goodie. And thus we conclude another episode of Winter is Blooming. We will be back next week with season 6, episode 6. And I'm very, very excited to keep the ball rolling here. We also continue our director's spotlight this Wednesday from Michael Mann. I believe this week is Heat. I believe I am correct in saying that. This week is Heat, starring Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. And I'm very, very excited for that. And we continue our comic book movie journey through film this Friday with Jonah Hex.
Yeah, that's a first watch for me.
Same here.
I have no idea even what power set this dude has.
I've only seen the character in the show Legends of Tomorrow, so it'll be interesting here. Never seen this movie, so got that on Friday. Hey, DC, we're gonna hit them. It's only fair.
Gotta hit them all. We gotta hit them all.
Yep, but with that, we will conclude this episode of the Penny Bloom Podcast. If you would, head to patreon.com/PennyBloomPod, where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content, all sorts of book reviews, comic book reviews, movie reviews, and the like. For $3 a month, you can support this podcast financially, which is huge, because it costs me money and I don't make any off of it unless it's over there. Head to Twitter, follow at PennyBloomPod, follow on Letterboxd at PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. Remember to leave a 5-star rate and review and to continue downloading. It is a huge help and we love it very, very much. I think that's it. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It is always a pleasure to be here.
And it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And Hodor.